And also, looking forward to talking to, not Ron the car guy, this is Joe, the car guy. Yep, he's from Westside Auto Pros, of course.
I'm back.
Yes, you are back because Ron's off gallivanting again.
He is. That's okay.
That's part of his good to be the king, isn't
That's right.
Yeah.
It's good to be the king.
All right, so we're talking about something that, a lot of people are, unfortunately, you're going to most likely experience this in your lifetime.
At some point in your lifetime, you're going to deal with a rock chip or a cracked windshield. It's going to happen. This is the time of year where we really start to see it start to come in because we're coming out of winter. There's a bunch of debris on the road.
Roads are breaking up.
We're going full swing into construction season, so that adds to it. So there's a lot of debris and stuff that's going to get kicked up, and one of them is going to find somebody's windshield.
Yeah, and the thing is, especially if you're following a truck, a gravel truck, the thing that's most amazing is when that one rock falls off the back of the gravel truck. I don't know how this works, but gravity slows it down so you see it in slow motion.
That's true.
As it comes right to your windshield, and you can see, and you know it's going to hit, and just takes forever.
It's true.
Yeah.
That's very true. Okay, so we need to know what happens because a lot of times you see windshields, they have a chip, they have a crack, and people just continue on with their day.
I actually saw one not yesterday, but on Sunday driving down I-80, the windshield was completely spidered all the way across, and it was caving into the vehicle where the guy was driving.
Are you serious?
It was just ridiculous.
So that's kind of obvious that that's the time to maybe.
That wouldn't be a rock chip repair.
That would be a little bit beyond
That
repair.
might be a sign that, I should take this to somebody and get this fixed.
Yeah. So anyway, that was a side note, but
So how do you know whether or not you need to just repair the chip or replace the windshield?
sure. Some people use the dollar bill method. If it's smaller than a dollar bill, when you lay it on your windshield, then it can be repaired as far as a crack goes with length.
That's a pretty big crack.
I never heard that.
Yeah, that's what some people use. There's so many variables with it. I don't like doing that because you're talking about
Lou's the only one with money, so he has to.
You're talking a 4 to 5 inch
$1.
But to me, that's really
That's a big crack.
Yeah, so that's why I say there's an asterisk with that because depending on how it goes, you're never going to get rid of that out of your sight.
Right.
But we can fill it so it doesn't become the entire windshield.
Okay.
Most of them that we see that we're able to fix are smaller than a golf ball. They're more like a quarter, nickel.
So even that's big.
Yeah, and that we can.
And you can still fill that.
We can still fill that. The thing that people think is when you get your windshield fixed, you're not going to be able to see anything.
Yeah.
It's just going to be like brand new glass.
So even if it's a little chip, if it's in your line of sight, you still want to get it fixed because it's going to block your view of driving.
Yeah,
right?
yep, exactly.
But it's going to be prismed a little bit. It's not going to be perfect.
Correct, yeah. Yep, and that's what you want to do is get it sealed so it doesn't become the big spider and caving in on you and
Driving down
that
I-80.
still baffles me.
We want pictures next time.
When you get these things done, when you get your windshield repaired, what does it normally cost?
Sure, cost will vary obviously from shop to shop. Most of them, you can use your insurance and they will waive the deductible. A lot of people don't know that. They think, well, I got a $500 deductible. I'll just pay out of pocket for my rock chip repair that's $50 or less. And away I go. A lot of times they'll waive the deductible for a rock chip repair, so that you don't have to pay anything out of pocket.
So there's
Your
really no
insurance will
reason to
pay.
wait. So if it happens, you
Yeah,
get it
call your
taken care
insurance
of.
company, find out what your glass is. The quicker you get it fixed, the better off you are because you're not getting dirt, moisture.
I was just going to ask about that, because a lot of times you're like, oh, I'll get to that eventually. But
Well, what
the
about-
longer you wait, you're not going to get a great
you're getting
fix.
stuff in there that's going to cause
With
it
this
to-
time of year, where today we're in the 60s. By the end of the week, it's going to be cooler again. Does that have a big difference on it too? Where the more the temperature changes, it's going to have a bigger effect?
Yeah, the more temperature change that you have, it's going to have an effect as far as it growing, at a rapid rate. If it gets really, really hot and then cold or whatever, it's going to expand and contract and then crack. But as far as the repair goes, we'll fix them in the middle of winter when it's as cold as anything. Because
And
we
they
pull them
stay.
into the
They
shop.
take.
Yeah, we've got a UV light that cures it. And a lot of it is too, there's 3 things that you want to make sure when somebody's fixing it. A is obviously cost. It's going to save you a ton of money over a windshield replacement. Quality, the glass that came in the car, unless you get that exact glass, which is the original equipment glass, the quality is going to be less. Now there's still different degrees of it. There's ones that's really, really cheap that has no UV coating on it. And there's some mid-grade glass that are available aftermarket, but the best glass is the one that came in it from the factory. And then the last one is vehicle damage. And what I mean by that is a windshield is essentially glued into your car. There's special adhesive that has to be used. And when they take it out, there's a knife that cuts that glue. That's the only way to get it out, is to cut it. if it makes one nick in the paint, it may be 10 years from now, but water's going to get into it, it's going to rust, and you're going to end up having leaks coming in. You're going to have a rusty roof or wherever they nicked it. And so there's a lot of things. You want to make sure that whoever's doing it is trained. And I don't mean trained by YouTube.
Right.
They need to be trained.
It's a serious thing to get it replaced.
Yeah.
But we want to make sure you do replace it if it's in that bad of shape.
Yeah, exactly. And somebody that's trained in it knows I can fix that or I can't fix that.
Okay.
Replace it, and then you don't end up with.
And do you guys have all that type of equipment?
Yeah, we've got all of the tools to do it. I've got 3 guys that have been trained and certified. There's a guy that will actually come to our shop and train the guys on how to do it hands-on.
So do you guys hand lay the glass in, or do you have one of those robotic arms?
We do not have the robotic arms
so you
yet.
hand lay them so you know they're exact.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep. So that way there's no guessing or maybe it's off a little bit and then
Yeah.
you get wind noise or rain.
Right. That's even better. All right, you have a special going on.
I was going to
too.
say, we know the boss is away, so let's give
Yeah, you
people
do
a
this all the
special.
time.
Well, yeah, exactly. Every time he's gone, we give you something for less. So $23 for up to 3 rock chip repairs on the
Wow.
same glass.
Oh, so if you're following that truck and it has a whole handful of gravel that can't.
Yeah, then you can get it fixed.
We'll fix up to 3 of them. We're going to run that through April 8th, so you do have some time. But again, the
pretty
silver.
Don't
good.
wait. Yeah.
Don't wait till April 7th if you have one now. If you get
Okay.
one between now and then, the special's still on.
Nice.
Now, if somebody's out and about driving this morning, they notice a chip and it's raining, do they need to wait till it's dry? Can they just give you a call and pop in today and get it done?
They can come in right now. We don't
Okay.
care if it's raining or snowing or whatever. We'll get it cleaned out the best we can that's in there and get it dried out. That's the biggest thing because otherwise the resin won't take and you're wasting your time. But we know what we're doing, so we'll
Yeah, I was gonna say, you guys have
make
helped
sure
me
it's
out
good.
before with that situation.
Yes.
All right, Joe the Car Guy. This is where you can find Westside Auto Pros. Go to Facebook and you can also Google it to get directions to go there. Just a little bit difficult to get there the very first time if you've never been there. It's a little off the beaten path, about a half a block. But once you're there, then you know exactly where it's at.
That's right.
It's well worth the trip.
You bet.
Joe the Car Guy, thank you very much, sir.
Thank
Good
you.
to see
See you, buddy.